Well, of course, because it's... All right, so let me see what I was doing. We said demand depends on preferences and tastes, on income, on prices of substitutes and complements. Okay. We mentioned normal goods. We mentioned inferior goods. Then we said individuals demand and market demand. Law of demand covered income effect and substitution effect. That's page 123. And then we say change in demand, which is the same as shift in demand, which we say means increase in demand or decrease in demand. Sometimes we say demand is up or demand is down. It's the same thing. So we have the market demand function. The next thing is page 127. And page 127's got a little different things. Let's write it out as market structure. There are different forms of market structure. So first, what is market structure? It is the number of suppliers in a particular market. Number of suppliers. All right, let's try this. You should probably know the number of gas companies, gas station companies. What is it? ADNOC, Enoch. How many? 3, 4, 5? How many?
Emirates. 3. Maybe
3 or 4?
4 maybe.
3 or 4. Okay. Number 2, let's write it out for you, is called oligopoly. Oligopoly is a market structure with very few suppliers. Maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5. So, market structure refers to the number of suppliers, the number of businesses in a particular market. Okay. Now, back in the old days, when the smartphones came out, there was only one, the first one, iPhone. If it's only one, we say monopoly. Monopoly means one supplier. The word in Latin, mono, means one, single. The part oligo means in English few, few. Monopoly, oligopoly. So, in a monopoly, one supplier. In an oligopoly, few suppliers. In few suppliers, the commodity is pretty much the same, okay? Like water. Okay, are there many, many, many different companies and brand names for water? Or just 3, 4, 5? How many? Many, many, okay? If you have many, many, then you say perfect competition. Perfect competition. This means many suppliers. The suppliers are small. They cannot affect the overall price. Very many suppliers I know, I see it in the market, is for rice. All sorts of brand names for rice, all sorts of suppliers for rice. Big supply from many different suppliers, okay? So that's perfect competition. It's a little trickier, but we can say in general, restaurant businesses in general, perfect. I like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of restaurants around, okay? So many suppliers. And now comes the trickier one, which needs a little explanation, is called, it's kind of like a combination of this and this. It's called monopolistic competition. In a monopolistic competition, you have, every company has its own product. The key characteristic in a monopolistic competition is that the products are close substitutes, but brand name. So, number one, close substitute, but the key characteristic is that they are branded, meaning a brand name. Example which you all understand is Mercedes and Lexus. They are relatively close substitute. It is still a vehicle you get from home to work, to party, to wherever you go. It's a transportation, okay? Yet, everybody will agree that a Lexus and a Mercedes are very different cars. But the purpose is the same, okay? Of course, in Europe will be Mercedes and BMW, okay? Now, very similar, let's say ask a guy, I mean, lipstick is a lipstick, but you say, oh no, the L'Oreal lipstick is totally different from some other lipstick, right? Okay? Or, of course, Gucci bag and a Prada bag, right? Hey, it's all the basis of bag, right? And you say, no, they're different, totally different. You know, you can't just substitute Gucci for Prada, right? Well, this is where it is. It's a brand. The brand makes for the consumer a difference. It's a perception, okay? Of course, here's another example, which now the computer guys say, just a simple Windows laptop and a MacBook right there. Again, very different brand. A computer is still a computer, okay? Of course, now you got the branded iPhone and the Samsung Galaxy brand and the LG. But for many consumers, again, for some it's all the same. But for others, it is totally and completely different product, okay? So, branding for some people is extremely important, but for others, it is not. Now, you have, let's say, two cars, Mercedes and BMW. Of course, you can add in here a Lexus. And suddenly, many of you prefer Lexus. Let's say half of you prefer Lexus, the other half prefer Mercedes. When the Lexus price goes up by 10%, would you switch from Lexus to Mercedes?
Yes.
Well, the short answer is maybe half, a good chunk of people will switch. But the other half will say, no. Even if it's 10% more, I like my Lexus, I will not switch. So, when you have a brand name, the brand can raise the price somewhat, and it will not lose a lot of consumers. So, the brand has a monopoly on its brand name. And it's a monopoly on its price. But it still competes with other brand names. So you got the brand within itself they can control. Lexus can easily double its price. The problem is going to lose a lot to Mercedes and BMW. So they have a control of their own price, but they can't just do whatever they want. Okay? L'Oreal cannot just increase the price 5 times. They're just going to switch to some other. Of course, maybe 10% of women prefer only L'Oreal, and they'll buy it even if it's 5 times more. Same thing, many people prefer Lexus. Even if the Lexus price is double, they'll pay. But 90 or 95% of people will switch. So there is what's called partial price control. Partial price. The company can control its price, but it cannot really abuse. It cannot raise it a lot. Of course, it can always lower the price, but it cannot just raise it as much as they. So there is somewhat ability to raise, but the key is branding and perception that the product is somewhat different and has special value, like a Rolex, right? So it allows, so part of the branding here, let's see who properly translated, is called prestige. Prestige. Can anyone translate properly in your language? What is it?
We say it like that.
Okay, good enough. So, big element in monopolistic competition and branding is the prestige element, okay? So, you want to be somehow a little bit separated, and a Rolex can do that, okay? For the guys, it will be maybe a Porsche or a Maserati, right? Okay, these are all, we call it. So, from at one point, the prestige comes, well, that's marketing, but let's write it out. Exotic brands. Exotic brand. You understand that?
Yeah.
All right. A brand, but it's not very, very common. Now, L'Oreal is very, very common. Just go anywhere and buy it. It's not exotic. Exotic is very, very hard to find, okay? And usually a lot more expensive. So, the standard brand names for cars are Mercedes, BMW, Lexus, but the exotic brand will be Lamborghini, Ferrari, Maserati. Of course, it have exotic brands and then have exclusive. An exclusive brand will be Rolls-Royce. Extremely expensive. You just don't see these much. Okay, there's just a few of them in town. Maybe not even one here in this town. Probably a dozen in Dubai. All right, you understand? So this is all related to monopolistic competition. What's this have to do with demand? Demand. Okay, well, first of all, we started out, let me write it out. Number one, we began with individual demand. Then the next step was market. Demand. So from individual to market demand. Now from market demand you go to red color, firm demand. This is business demand. Demand that one particular business faces. So this is a firm. It's in business demand. So, we already said what the individual demand depends on, okay? These are the pieces here. We said that the market demand depends on the number of consumers. Now, what does the firm's demand depend on? Well, firm demand depends on basically two things. Number one is market demand. And number two, intelligent guesses. Anybody? Well, that's why I'm doing this whole thing on the market structure. So, if you're selling rice, you got huge competition. Your demand and perfect competition will just about depend on the price of everybody else. Okay? If you're a monopolist, you face only market demand, you're one and only. Okay? If you're oligopolist, you have to look at your 2 or 3 other competitors. If you're a Lexus in a monopolistic competition, all you have to do is watch Mercedes, BMW, and maybe Audi. Okay? Now, similarly, in between the exotic brands is a Jaguar. Okay, you understand Jaguar car? Okay. Well, very simple. If you're a Jaguar, you gotta watch Mercedes and BMW and whatever else. Okay. And you try to be 10 or 20% higher price. Okay. Okay. So your demand as a business depends, are you competing with 1 company, with 2 companies, with 10 companies, with 100 companies? Are you competing with companies, or you're competing with or against brands? There's a big difference, okay? And that depends on the market structure. So, in a monopoly, we say that the company is price maker. Price maker. It makes the price. If you are a monopoly, you just set the price. You say the price is that much. Buy all you want, or as much as you want. Now, if it's a perfect competition, the company is said to be a price taker. Price taker means it simply takes the price. The price for rice on the market is what it is, just like the price for coffee is what it is, maybe 2, maybe 3. The company can't just say, oh, the price is 2 or 3, I'm going to put it 10. You're going to put it 10 and no one's going to be buying from them. Okay, that's just common sense. So, if there is a very high competition, the company will just take the price, whatever is on the market. And if the market price goes up, they'll raise their price with it. And if the market goes down, they'll raise the price with it. Okay? And in monopolistic competition, it's in between. You can make your price, but not too different from competition. You can make it a little different, but not too much. Yeah, maybe 5, maybe 10%, maybe 20%, yeah, but not too much. All right, so the price monopoly, that's page 127. The oligopoly, again, 127. The price taker is, again, 127. The monopolistic competition, 128. The market structure is sometimes the same as market organization. Now, if I remember correctly, they have here, and we have here, chapters 9 and 10. Chapters 9 and 10. So, chapter 9 and chapter 10. And we have in our syllabus probably to spend as much as 1 weekend on these, meaning 1 full week we're going to spend on these in detail. Just know what it is. Let's see what else I have. Oh, okay, 2 more things, 2 or 3 more things to complete. Okay, so these were the primary. Now, let me write a little bit the secondary. Secondary, these are the primary factors. Secondary factors. So, what else determines demand for a good? A number of other little things. Number 1 is price expectations. And it's simply, what do you expect to be the price next year? For example, for some reasons, you may expect that the prices of Lexus will fall within a year. That's possible. And I said, okay, I'll wait a year and then buy a car. Okay, it's going to save me a lot of money. Oh yeah, that's a very easy one. Now you got iPhone 10. What's your price expectation 6 months from now?
For the iPhone?
Yes, for the iPhone 10.
Maybe 4,000 something.
No. I mean, do you expect the price to go up or down a little?
Yeah. Maybe down because
Up.
Well, it's already out. When it's new, the price is always higher. And for the same model, over time, the price just falls a little bit down. So, you may have a price expectation, I'll just wait 6 months and then buy, okay? I mean, your phone works good, right? So, now, the one price expectation that you all understand easily is, hey, apartments, let's say in Dubai, and you expect prices to go up. If the price, you expect the price to go up, you want to buy now, quickly, okay? But if you expect the price to go down, you can just wait. So, price expectation, if you expect the price expectation to be up, this increases demand. So, you expect the price to go up, you want to buy now when it's still cheap. Because next year they're going to be more expensive. And the opposite, of course, is certainly true. If the price expectation is down, for example,
Like the gold. Like the gold.
Well, like gold, but yes, it applies to anything. Could be diamonds, could be gold. I will explain a little bit more in a few minutes. For example, I was looking for that nice, super slim MacBook, and they got whatever the promotion is, but I always know that at the end of January, so first they got a Christmas promotion for sale, then they got a New Year's promotion, and usually at the end of January, whatever they couldn't sell, they lowered the price a lot. So I wait, I have a price expectation, the price expectation falls, so when I expect the price to fall, I don't buy now. I sit and wait and wait and wait. I mean, my MacBook works well. I mean, 5 years old, but it works well. So if the price really falls, I'll buy a new one to replace it. But otherwise, it's okay. So if the price expectation, if you expect the price to go down, your demand will be lower. You'll just meaning sit and wait. Sit and wait. So that's number 1. Number two, there may be temporary price promotion. Only for 1 week, they really lower the price, whatever the reason. One reason may be because a brand new model is coming. I mean, I don't know, maybe there's an iPhone 9. Is there iPhone 9? Or 8? 8. So there's iPhone 8. Now, iPhone 10 is coming, and they make promotion for iPhone 8. Lower the price because they want to sell and then get the iPhone 10. So there may be price promotions. So price promotions do affect consumers. A lot of people wait for the promotions. Okay, that's very common. Number three, advertising. Many people say that they're not affected by advertising, but the reality is that advertising works. Maybe not perfectly, but a lot of times subconsciously. The consumer doesn't realize, but you see the advertising 5, 6, 8, 10 times, and over time you get accustomed to it. Advertising simply a lot of times affects demand. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, that's a big one in America. Let's write it out. Credit availability. Now, here you can understand credit availability if you really want to buy an apartment and it costs $2 million. And of course, well, not of course, maybe some of you don't have just $2 million sitting in the bank or lying around, okay? No, all of you have. So it might be that you have $250,000, which is 250, and you borrow the rest. If credit is available, maybe you buy. But if it's not available, you don't buy. Similarly applies for cars. The car may cost 100,000, 110 or 20. That will be, let's say, a smaller Mercedes, a smaller BMW. Okay, and you probably maybe don't have 100,000, or if credit is available, you buy. So credit availability affects some consumer goods. I mean, it will not affect your coffee, probably, and it will not affect the water, but it may affect other, bigger, more expensive items. Okay, so that's another factor. For example, in America, credit availability affects student enrollment in universities. Most Americans are broke. They are bankrupt. They don't even have $1,000 on their bank account. They live entirely on borrowed money. They want to buy a car, it's on credit. They want to buy a computer, they're on credit. They live entirely on credit. So, no credit, no car. No credit, no house. No credit, no MacBook. No credit, no refrigerator. That's how they live, okay? They live in debt, okay? So credit is extremely important for any type of purchase. And there's one other little factor which changes demand a lot, is durability. How durable is the product matters sometimes. Durability would be, durable will be a computer. You can use it 2, 3, 4 years. Okay, it doesn't spoil. Okay. Refrigerators, TVs, electronics are in general durable. Even more durable is land. Very durable is real estate. But durable will be also glasses. Yeah, they can break, but overall you can use them for many years. Tables are relatively durable. So when things are durable, sometimes people can choose when to buy, when not to buy, okay? Especially like the case with my laptop. I already got a durable laptop, so I'm not really desperate. I'm looking to replace, I'm alert, but
Can't wait.
I can wait, not a big deal. Now I am in exactly the same situation back home with my nice BMW. I love it, it's great, but it's getting old. 14 years old, 15 years old. It's time for replacement. But again, it runs good, it doesn't break, I have problems, but I know it's simply getting old. I'm already looking and I'm already checking. And I keep an eye. I first keep an eye on which brands I'm gonna get, what type of a car I'm gonna get, and I'm checking on the market. But it doesn't mean I'm in a hurry to buy immediately, okay? So it's called price sensitive. If the price is good and the price is right, then I'll buy. But if the price is not good, hey, my old one runs just fine. Okay, I can wait another month, I can wait another year, okay? It's not a matter of being rich or poor, it's a matter of being a good, educated, selective consumer. All right, so this was, all of these are on page 128. So all of these here, let me see, visible, yes, 128. Durability is also on page 128. And that's it. All right, let's go.